Thank you, Stephen. You're so tall. Yeah. I know that this is terrible, but one of the things I always feel after Stephen reads from this book is that I should sing the full score to Les Miserables, but I never do, and I'm not going to do it now, even though I dreamed a dream and it looked exactly like this. Terrible jokes. This is the first one, and there are so many more. I haven't even heard them yet. Thank you again to Stephen. So, next in our poet wine pairings, we have the lovely Wanda John-Kehewin. These poems pair perfectly with the Shiraz. Both deliver a robust taste with a rich bouquet of warm berries and distinctly spicy notes. Velvety, elegant, and a powerful heavy oak finish fills the palate. Yeah, think about it. Think before you drink. All right, everyone? Think before you drink about poems. Cree poet Wanda John-Kehewin studied criminology, sociology, Aboriginal studies, and creative writing while attending the Writers' Studio writing program at Simon Fraser University. She uses writing as a therapeutic medium through which to understand and to respond to the near decimation of First Nations culture, language, and tradition. She has been published in Quills, Canadian Poetry Magazine, the Aboriginal Writers Collective West Coast Anthology, Salish Seas, and the Writers' Studio Emerge Anthology. She has shared her writing on Vancouver Co-op Radio, performed at numerous readings throughout the Lower Mainland, and read for the Writers' Union of Canada. And her new book, In the Doghouse, is published by Talon Books. And she is just wonderful. You're going to love her. Please welcome Wanda John-Kehewin.
I actually have to laugh because that sounded so awesome, and I don't know if you can call a wine depressing, but that's it.
My cause depression.
Yes, the day after. Usually I read a lot about colonization, and I thought I was going to read some different stuff today. In 2009, I actually told myself, I think I should write a book. So this was my first book I wrote, and I actually bound it myself. And so here in 2013, is it? I actually have one published. So I thought I'd bring this today and read something from it. So it's kind of interesting to see how writers grow. So we'll see how much I've grown or not grown. Where is it? Okay. This one is called Summer Kisses, which was not published by Talon Books, and I wonder why. Let's figure that out. I actually submitted it, but he kind of cut it out, so we'll see. Maybe it's too sexy, I don't know. I crawl out from my unparalleled... Oh, I should have practiced first. I crawl out from my unparalleled agate rock with cherry blossoms polka-dotting my graying hair. My lonely hibernation is over and I smile, steadfast, and maybe this is the year I fall hard and fast, headlong into a summer astral travel, awake and vibrant, and not want for any other in my sacred divan. I search desperately for my elusive one, who will not be afraid of change and not be afraid to swim into the sea under a... Now I know why he didn't publish it. Hang on. I didn't actually look at it. Do you guys want me to finish that? Okay. I'll try to read it with more flair, maybe. That's why I didn't let it go. Okay. I search desperately for my elusive one who will not be afraid of change and not be afraid to swim into the sea under a full moon, stripped of his master status in the intimate hush of the night, him and I. He would not be afraid to arrange himself on my star blanket, bursting with unspoken hopes, unspoken expectations of virtuous pleasure and gaze at the stars with the encapsulation of time limiting our interaction, our intimacy, and just in the moment, only with me. The sun bequeaths copper-brown kisses upon my face, my arms, my legs, my shadows, and I realize just how breakable I am. I realize I am not here, nor there. I am not anywhere, but in a milky way of moments that I must choose with a free and lucid mind so that I may one day remember what it was like to run across the sand barefoot in the clutches of love, to feel the reckless abandon of first touch, and to never question the sanity of my need for love, leading me down a twisted path of desire, leaving me aching for more time to live in my old age. All I know is that I am not with him at this very moment, when it truly would be the difference between sanity and insanity, loneliness and fulfillment, between lust and love. And I know somewhere under the coverlet of the sky, he is wishing he knew where to find me. And the second part is in here, but this one might be a little more interesting. It's called Antique for Sale. Now I know why they didn't publish that. I was like, oh, it's too corny. Oh, geez. Can I read this? Okay. This one's more realistic, I think. I clamber into the darkened parlor, my daily nighttime lover. Noxious, familiar fumes of stale ale, both past and present, assail my nostrils and burn my eyes. I feel like the freak I know I am. I never drink before 6 p.m., except for today on my anniversary. I've been alone 6 years, 351 days, 23 hours, and 13 minutes. I ordered the cheap, mind-numbing bottom-of-the-barrel pale ale that still remains somewhat deceivingly effervescent like me. The gradation from light to dark consumes and justifies my fears. Somehow and every day I am Alice, I am Dorothy, I am Cinderella, the loner, waiting for my 7 minuscule heroes and my brick house to appear at the stroke of noon, or perhaps just drop from the sky onto my lap and slap me awake, and I figure what an intoxicatingly dangerous dream to dream about even before 6 p.m. Quite unusual, insane, and sassy, I think. It smells and tastes and feels real. My mind has always been a cluster. I slowly suck on my filtered second-rate cigarettes, generating a death cloud, staring and studying my kumquat-hued, crinkled, creased, smoking fingertips, and I can't remember when I last felt the crack of love's whip entice me, daring me to push far and push hard and to grasp and reach for it blindly. I've forgotten to pour and force my coins into the love meter everywhere. What a life! What a quagmire, to approach 50 with 2/3 or more of my life gone, like a bird flying north to purposely perish in the snow, alone and unfulfilled. I shiver and cringe at the lonely, decrepit, tarnished, broken, worthless antiquism I am. I am thunderstruck by the wrinkles that have crept and settled and made themselves invisible in the sepia-stained beer parlor encasing me. Deep lines assault me in the unforgiving fluorescent light and spits out the truth and the dare. I gather my wits and hold on to the bathroom sink, hoping, begging, and praying that maybe, just maybe, I might see things in the wrong luminosity. And maybe reading into a crystal ball, aged, cracked, and abused, with only traces that it ever really was what it was supposed to be. I blink and open and blink, blindly hoping, transform or morph into anything else but the tired image of what was once a sought-after goddess. Now just a broken montage of an aged soul in a dirty, cracked, murderous mirror. Once whole 32 years ago, I believe. I improvise and perform like a dollar store actress, where I slip in and shop these days just before they close. Last minute sally at it again. For the harsh daylight can be just as unforgiving, truthful, unrelenting, and ruthless, and cruel like all the others who didn't have enough sense to lie. I am no longer on anyone's race to die for speed dial #1 position, nor is anyone on mine, for I have repented, retreated, and greeted defeat into my lonely world of cheap booze, sad songs, dollar store oysters, and postcards of places I have never been, but sent off to past participants in my life. Aching, waiting, preparing for my knight in shining armor of sequins to materialize when I finally slip on my negligee bought 5 years ago in a drunken state of denial. When the one finally finds me, the day when I finally stop looking and wishing, he'll take me home and devour me like a prisoner's last meal of lobster thermidor. Until then, I will inhale and puff incessantly and drink for 2 or 3, or just me, as I've always done while waiting for my prince on his last legs and liver like me. I think I should give a bit of background on this. I used to go to this pub, and there was this older lady who used to sit at the bar. And so I wrote about her because every time I went there, I'd see her there, and she'd be wearing all her jewelry and, just really, really awesome for her time.
Wow.
I thought you guys were thinking it's me. I'm like, oh my god. This one here I've never read in public, but I think I'll do it today because it's an awesome crowd. I think it should explain itself. It's called Artifacts. Artifacts of love, lost love, capture my space, invade my tired heart, and detain my restive soul. Picture of a dead husband, much loved, yet abandoned, in a time when inner anguish swallowed him, love, soul, and mind. And gone was Daddy in a sea of heroin. Black dresses, fancy underwear, glass wastebaskets, oil paintings, pastel sketches, love cards, tarot cards, glass shards, unrequited. Unaware, unrealistic, unresolved, the undoing of it all. Thus settles in silence all around me as my heart aches for one day in the past when love didn't have to hurt, and daddies didn't do drugs, and mommies weren't recovering from sexual abuse, and skin color was rain, and more rain, indistinguishable from the other rain spilling onto the cold, wet ground with fervor and fever, and a want for all blood to be red when it spills and tastes the same, none the sweeter nor the saltier, none the redder than the next gutted raindrop in a sea of cold, wet pavement where compassion should reside. On the cold, wet pavement, beside a puddle of rain, pictures of dead husbands and heroin. So I think I'll explain a bit about background about that too. I used to work in the downtown east side, so a lot of my writing comes from experiences and watching people. So thank you very much for the opportunity.